Welcome to today's Daily AI News.
So I want you to imagine something for a second. What if you could kick off a huge software project, write up a high-level plan, and then just walk away, go to sleep, go on vacation, whatever? Well, today we're going to explore how that's becoming a reality. We're talking about autonomous AI frameworks that can build entire features while you are completely away from the keyboard. We're going to start with a really simple but powerful loop named after a cartoon character and end up in what's basically an industrialized AI coding factory. But let's really lean into this question for a moment. I mean, what if you could just lay out the plan, log off for the night, and wake up to a fully finished feature, tests and all, just sitting there waiting for you? It sounds like a developer's wildest dream, right? But this whole away from keyboard approach, or AFK, is exactly what these new autonomous systems are designed to do. Okay, so to understand how we actually get to that AFK future, we first have to talk about the biggest thing holding AI coding back right now. And it all boils down to one simple problem: the human bottleneck. And this really lays out the core difference. On the left, you've got the way most of us use AI today. You give it a prompt, you watch it work, and then you jump in to fix its mistakes. It's helpful, for sure, but you are the bottleneck. The AI can't go any faster than you can babysit it. Now, the model on the right is a whole different ballgame. The AI works all by itself, in a continuous loop, and, this is the most important part, it corrects its own mistakes. This is a complete paradigm shift. But you can probably see the problem here. If you just let an AI run loose for hours, you run into this massive issue called context rot. It's just like a conversation that goes on for way too long. Eventually, the AI just kind of forgets what you were even talking about in the first place. Its short-term memory gets clogged, and the quality of its work just tanks. So the central challenge becomes, how do you build an AI that can work for hours without, well, losing its mind? And the solution to that huge problem is, believe it or not, ridiculously simple. It's so simple, yet so powerful, that it kicked off this entire movement. It's time for us to meet Ralph Wiggum. I love this quote from the creator, Jeffrey Huntley. Ralph is a bash loop. For anyone who isn't a programmer, that just means it's a dead simple script that just keeps on running. And yeah, it's named after that Ralph Wiggum from The Simpsons. Why? Because it's not trying to be super smart. It's just persistent. It just keeps trying and trying and trying until eventually the job gets done. So how does this simple little loop actually work? It's just a 4-step cycle. Step 1, the agent grabs one single task from the to-do list. Step 2, it writes the code for just that one task. Now, step 3 is where all the magic happens. It gets feedback by running automated tests on its own work. It checks its own homework. And in step 4, if those tests find any errors, the whole loop starts over from scratch for that task. If everything passes, it commits the code and moves on to the next thing. It is a relentless, unstoppable cycle of code and self-correction. And boom, right there, that's the genius solution to context rot. Because each time the loop runs, it's a completely fresh session. The AI doesn't have to remember a long, complicated conversation. It just reads the code on the desk as it is right now. The file system becomes its perfect long-term memory that never degrades. This creates a powerful effect that engineers call back pressure. It's a fancy way of saying the system constantly pushes back against bad code. The AI isn't just writing code into a void. It's got these automated guardrails. The unit tests are basically screaming, no, that logic is broken. TypeScript is saying, whoa, that's the wrong data type. These tools are like strict teachers that force the AI to get closer and closer to the right answer because they literally won't let it submit broken code. Okay, so a single AI worker running in a loop is incredibly powerful. But what if you have a truly massive project? How do you scale this up from one tireless worker to an entire team, or even an army? Well, that's where the next evolution comes in. Welcome to Gastown. And I want to be clear, this is a huge conceptual leap. We're not just adding more workers. We are going from a single robot in a small workshop to an entire fully automated factory floor. We're talking about a city of specialized AI agents all working in concert. And just like any good factory, everyone has a specific job. You have the mayor, who's basically the project manager, the main coordinator you talk to. Then you get these things called Polecats. I love that name. They're like single-use temp workers. They pop into existence, do one specific task, and then poof, they're gone. If a Polecat gets stuck, the witness steps in to help out. Then the refinery acts as your quality control department, figuring out how to merge all the finished code together. And watching over this whole operation is the Deacon, the COO who makes sure the entire factory is running smoothly. It's a whole society of AIs built to tackle huge problems. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. Letting swarms of autonomous agents run wild in your codebase sounds, frankly, terrifying. And you know what? It should. This kind of incredible power demands a completely new set of rules and some very serious safety protocols. And these safeguards are absolutely non-negotiable. First, everything runs in a secure sandbox, a Docker container, which is like a digital padded cell. The agent can't touch any of your sensitive files or keys. Second, you only give it the absolute minimum permissions it needs to do its job, and nothing more. You can even set up rules to block it from running dangerous commands. But the final and most important layer of defense is you, a human. You must treat the AI's final output like a pull request from any junior developer. Trust, but always verify. So if the AI is writing all the code, what's left for us humans to do? Well, our role is shifting upwards. We're moving away from writing code line by line and getting stuck on tiny debugging details. The new job is about designing the high-level architecture, engineering the prompts and the feedback loops that guide the AI, and basically orchestrating these swarms of agents. Our value isn't in typing anymore. It's in the vision, the judgment, and the system design. When you put all this together, it becomes incredibly clear that this isn't just some new tool or a passing fad. This is a fundamental paradigm shift in how we build things. The future of software development is, without a doubt, going to be autonomous. And if you want to see the real-world impact, just look at this number, $297. That's the total bill for a team that had these agents build and ship 6 entire software repositories overnight. A project that would have taken a human team weeks and cost tens of thousands of dollars. We are literally watching the cost of writing code collapse toward zero in real time. And all of this leaves us with one final, provocative question that we all have to start thinking about. If the actual act of writing code becomes a cheap, automated commodity, like electricity or water, then what does a human engineer become? What is our real value? That is the question we are all going to have to answer, and probably sooner than we think.
Thank you for watching. See you soon.